On Thursday, Governor Stitt formally requested an audit of the State Department of Education, and current Superintendent Joy Hoffmeister wasted little time voicing her strong disapproval. The governor says with an historic $3.2 billion investment as a result of COVID-related federal funding, it's important that Oklahomans are assured that money is being spent appropriately. Superintendent Hoffmeister, who also sits on the OETA board, responded by noting all expenditures over $25,000 are already being approved on a weekly basis by the Secretary of Education. And she added, quote, the governor's attack on public education couldn't be worse timing for students, families, teachers, and taxpayers. The superintendent recently announced two new multi-million-dollar grant programs, one of them to help students take their college board exams, and the other to further educate the next generation of school administrators. Taylor Jackson has our report.
The Oklahoma State Department of Education is investing $2.5 million in federally funds to create the Fall and College Readiness Initiative, which allows public schools 10th through 12th graders an additional opportunity to take the ACT and SAT.
I took my pre-ACT last year and I did pretty well, but I'm pretty nervous about this year, but I'm also very excited.
High school juniors usually take the ACT as a part of their state assessment test, but the pandemic made that difficult for many students.
A lot of centers have been closed because of COVID in the last 2 summers, or they've reduced the number of students who can test. So we've had students who really had trouble finding a place to take the test outside of the school.
Well, we know that a lot of our students have missed out on some of these opportunities because of the pandemic as they are high schoolers in their junior or senior year. This is opening it up in the fall to anyone, 10th grade through their senior year.
State Superintendent of Public Instruction, Joy Hoffmeister, who also sits on the OETA board, says this is a one-time opportunity.
We would love to be able to do this every year, but we don't have that in our budget.
Junior McKenna DeLong is currently preparing for the college assessment test. She says her teachers have worked hard to prepare her and her classmates.
I really appreciate our school and our teachers and how well they really do prepare us. We have a time limit, so they said, harder questions move past, easier questions get too quick and knock those out, and then you'll have more time on the harder ones. So that's what I keep in the back of my mind.
Studies confirm that students who take the ACT or SAT more than once are more likely to see an improvement in their score.
The ACT and the SAT are timed. So it's one of the tests that they take that's timed that makes them a little bit more nervous. So that practice of taking a timed test, the more you take it, the more likely you are to do better each time.
Some students will be able to take this and raise their scores, which can mean additional scholarship opportunities. For others, it might be the first time they're taking it, and then when they take it as a state level assessment, their junior year, they won't be taking it for the first time.
Students are not required to take the extra test, but are encouraged to do so.
We are offering students an ACT opportunity on October 5th. All juniors and seniors have been offered the opportunity and have already been put into the system to take that test.
Hoffmeister adds students will need to sign up for the test directly through their schools.
Really convenient because there isn't then a Saturday test where they have to take off work or drive a distance to get there. They'll be able to do this right there in their own school if they sign up through their school.
Having it during the school day makes it easily accessible to students, and they don't have to go in and try to register or get a waiver. It's all done through the school.
DeLong believes students should take advantage of this opportunity.
Just take it, take the test, because in the long run, it's going to be super helpful for you, no matter how you score on it.
The other major grant focuses on developing future school administrators. $8 million is being used to start the School Leadership and Talent Development Initiative, a 3-year program that should also help improve teacher retention rates.
What we are trying to do in this initiative is to prepare those assistant principals who will become principals in the future and lead a building to be very in tune to how to build a culture that supports teachers, that also works very well with stakeholders and families in the community.
The program was developed after analyzing feedback from former Oklahoma educators.
We commissioned a survey to about 28,000 teachers who had left the classroom and asked them, why did you leave and what would it take to get you back?
The two answers given most often, bigger salaries and better principals.
a principal that had their back, a principal that could support their students and make hiring decisions for other types of support, behavioral specialists, reading specialists, a variety of other people that will help then that classroom teacher meet the needs of the students in their class.
Hoffmeister plans to support teachers through development of more effective administrators and leadership.
When we're supporting those leaders who are setting policy and building a culture and fostering respect and trust within buildings with their staff, that goes a long way in helping our teachers feel that they have the support that they need.
Orientation for the inaugural Principal Induction Academy began on Thursday with an expected class of 50 applicants. Taylor Jackson, the Oklahoma News Report.